Bitcoin pumped all the way to the $65,000 and we are now seeing a little bit of a retracement already to the $63,000. Bitcoin is showing some very interesting formations on several time frames and I will discuss them with you in this video. Later in the video I will also discuss two altcoins with you. There is a lot of interesting news about the Ethereum ETF and I will also have a look at some different news about the crypto markets. So follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube channel and let's dive right into the charts. On Friday Bitcoin opened the CME gap at $57,500 and we see a big uptrend for Bitcoin happening after the assassination attempt on Trump, and overnight we pumped to $65,000, but we're now retracing back to the $63,000. So let's see if Bitcoin can continue this uptrend, but for now we're seeing a little bit of a retrace to this previous level, and that's very healthy to see actually, because we can maybe continue the uptrend, but keep in mind that the CME gap is still open and we could also come all the way back down to the CME gap to close it eventually, and that's not what we wanted to see of course. So yeah, let's see if Bitcoin can continue the uptrend. Yesterday I talked about this pattern on a daily time frame. We can see multiple support and resistance lines for Bitcoin. And yesterday I talked about these two multiple scenarios that could happen for Bitcoin. Either way, we could either see a gain of this resistance level or we could see a rejection from this level. And eventually we saw a gain of this level because we saw a daily close of this candle yesterday. So we saw a gain. And currently we are a little bit down from this daily candle, but I expect that we're going to see a retest of this previous resistance as support. So I want to see that today's candle is going to close above this support slash resistance area, and that would be very bullish, because then we could see again a retest of the previous resistance as support and then come further back up, and that would yeah, be the start of the continuation of the uptrend for Bitcoin. And also yesterday we saw a huge inflow of the Bitcoin ETFs again. We saw an inflow of $300 million again, so that is insane. And currently we are at all-time highs for this cumulative inflow for the Bitcoin ETF. And we are above the $16 billion in total, so that is insane. After this consolidation, we are seeing now a spike to the top side again. And that is exactly what we wanted to see for the Bitcoin ETFs. So yeah, they have been buying the dip, and that is a good thing to see. Another interesting chart for Bitcoin is this huge triangle on the daily time frame. We can see multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and support. Yeah, and over the weekend we broke out of this triangle and we broke the downtrend to the top side. So that is a beautiful thing to see. And yeah, we are seeing four green candles in a row, and that is the kind of breakout you want to see for Bitcoin during this kind of huge downtrend. And yeah, we're now seeing a little bit of a bearish daily candle, but of course after 4 huge green candles this is nothing to worry about. And we could maybe either see a retest of this previous resistance as support, and then we could continue the uptrend, and eventually the breakout target of this triangle will be the top side, and it will be confluent with the $72,000. So there's still a lot of room to grow for Bitcoin, and let's see if this can happen in the coming days and weeks. I've also been talking about this broadening wedge for Bitcoin. We saw a huge bounce from the support level because we saw multiple touch points here in the past on this trendline support. And we want to see that Bitcoin is going to revisit this upper side resistance again. So let's see if we can visit that level again and maybe force a break to the top side, retest the previous resistance as support, and then come further back up. And if we do so and break to the top side, we will immediately create new all-time highs, and that is what we want to see for Bitcoin in the short term. And eventually, yeah, this could happen very fast, because also back here we saw a very interesting quick gain for Bitcoin, and also we saw that here. So it could happen in a couple of days. So let's see if that's going to happen in the coming days for Bitcoin. We're also seeing a little bit of a negative news coming into the markets. We see Mt. Gox sending 44,500 Bitcoin to another address, and that's worth of more than $2.8 billion. So that is an insane amount, of course. And they could sell it all to the market, so that could also have a very negative effect on the markets. And a lot of people are worried about this kind of selling pressure coming into the market. And after the German government sold all their Bitcoin, we are now having Mt. Gox probably selling all their Bitcoin. So that is something you can worry about. But in the long term, I don't worry about that. And eventually we will create much higher prices. And last week, 3 days ago, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index was at extreme greed at levels of 25. And we are now back at the greed level. So we are now at 65. And it was all happening in 3 days. So that is very quick if you ask me. We could also see levels of extreme greed, but that means that we're going to see all-time highs. But for now we are back in the greed, and eventually buying when we're in extreme greed is always a good thing to do, and that is showing again and again and again. So congratulations if you bought it extreme greed, because Bitcoin is up for $10,000 in the last 10 days. So that is an insane gain if you ask me. And if you have a look at the monthly chart, we can see a very interesting thing happening. We can see two tops of the previous bull market, and yeah, we also see two rejections, of course. So this is a very interesting resistance line for Bitcoin. And in the beginning of this year, we broke this resistance to the top side, and we are currently retesting it multiple times as support. And yeah, we can see the support is holding strong, and this monthly candle of June was going all the way back here, and yeah, grabbed up some liquidity. But if this monthly candle closes above this level, yeah, we can see a lot of interesting bullish price action coming for Bitcoin, and we could maybe continue the uptrend and eventually create new all-time highs. And yeah, this is looking very healthy if you ask me. So let's see if Bitcoin can continue the uptrend on the monthly chart. And some other interesting news is coming out yesterday. The Ethereum ETF will launch on the 23rd of July, and that will be on next Tuesday. So this could also have a very interesting effect on the markets, of course. And the SEC has also given preliminary approval to at least 3 ETFs, and that is BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, and Van Eck. And they will issue their Ethereum ETF, and this could also mean the start of a new alt season, because when Ethereum is going to rise, a lot of alt seasons may follow, because Ethereum is the king of altcoins, and yeah, when Ethereum is going to rise, we will see a lot of altcoins follow their footsteps. The first altcoin I want to discuss with you is XRP. We can see XRP was in this huge falling wedge to the downside, and I talked about this huge formation last week in my video about XRP. We can see a huge break to the top side, and eventually I guess we're going to see a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and from there we can aim for a higher target. But it is looking very good on the shorter time frame for XRP. And if we have a look at the weekly time frame, we can see XRP was in this huge consolidation phase since the beginning of November 2021. We can see multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and also on the downside as support. And eventually this price will be compressed and squeezed into this apex. And eventually, yeah, XRP has to pick a side. So we are either going to see a break to the top side, or we're going to see a bearish break to the downside. And eventually we want to see this bullish break for XRP happening in the long term. So let's see if XRP can create more bullish price action and revisit this top side resistance and maybe force a break to the top side. So that would be very bullish, of course. And in the long term, I think XRP will go to levels around $2 again in this bull cycle. Yeah, so we have to be a little bit patient for now, but I expect that XRP is going to see more bullish price action in the coming bull cycle. And the second altcoin I want to discuss with you is Solana. We can see Solana has been in this huge run-up lately in this pre-bull cycle. We can also see this huge support / resistance line unfolding for Solana. And we also see a beautiful resistance line on the top side, which yeah, acts as resistance, because we saw multiple touch points here as resistance. And yeah, we can maybe see a revisit of this resistance area, and eventually we want to see a break to the top side, retest this previous resistance as support, and then come further back up and aim for higher levels. But for now, yeah, we can see a beautiful bounce from this support level on the lower side, and this is looking strong for Solana. So also here, eventually the price of Solana will be compressed and getting squeezed into the apex, and we will either see a break to the top side or a bearish break to the downside. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about Solana and what your price prediction is for Solana in the coming bull run. So for now, I'm looking at this daily time frame for Bitcoin, and I want to see this daily candle close above this support area, and that means that we're going to see a bullish retest, and we can aim for high targets. And then the next big resistance will be around this level, and that will be around the 67,000. But if we're going to see a rejection from this level, we will go back to the $60,000. And that is also nothing to be worried about, because we then also could see like a bullish continuation of the price. But of course, we want to see that this daily candle closes above this support level, and then aim for this next big resistance at 67,000. So I hope you find this video useful. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel to never miss a video in the future. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.